Next, this is a detailed drawing for the pipe. You see, this pipe is connected from indoor to outdoor. No? Here is a section. This is a, you see, the biggest is a suction line, the smaller is a liquid line, and both is insulated in separately. You see, separate insulation for this pipe, separate for this pipe, and on that you may find 3-inch PVC conduit or a separate wrapping, and you can find the cable also, which will connect from indoor to outdoor. So in some models, the power connection to the indoor, from that the supply of power from indoor to outdoor, or in some model the main supply to the outdoor and the indoor will receive the power from outdoor. So mostly in actual practice in present market now, you will find the power you'll find the models with the power supply to the indoor and from indoor the supply to outdoor. Okay, so it can be in reverse also as per the model, but commonly indoor to outdoor. So that's the reason we required this cable also. So all this complete is going to, as per standard, is going to run with a 3-inch PVC conduit. And if it is running on the roof or on or above fall ceiling, this should be with the separate drain tray. You see GI tray as per standard. Generally, we are not using all this in detail, but as per standard, this is required. For standard project, you must follow this, all this detail drawing for means they will do the inspection. Next, apart from this, you see, this is the base for outdoor unit. You must construct this concrete base, and this before connecting, we require this isolators, nothing but rubber pads to reduce the vibration from the unit to this concrete base. This is as per standard, and from the manufacturer also you'll find this vibration isolators so that they can install on site. Next, now if you talk about the capacity for this split system in the market, available with the 1 TR up to 4 TR, again depend on location and the vendor, means the make. Most commonly 1 TR 1.5 to 2.5 is available. Above 2.5, 3, 3.5, 4 you'll find in cassette, not in high wall. Commonly depend as per the location and the make. The same is given here, 1 TR to 4 TR. You see 1 TR to 4 TR, I'm just combining all the types. But if you specifically talk about the high wall most commonly available up to 2 or 2.5 TR. Next, now if you talk about the advantages for this high wall, you see, look nice in interior. Compare with what? Compare with the window. I'm not compare with the cassette. If you compare this with the cassette will have further advantage. But at this level, I'm comparing this with the window. So if you talk about window, look nice in interior. Low maintenance. Anyhow, no, even for window also we have low maintenance. Low initial cost. Compare with what? Not compare with the window. Compare with the ductable split, the next units. Because usually means it is available in market with the 30 to 50,000 for 1 to 1.5 TR. Depend on the EER also, energy rating. Next, no window space needed, like window AC. For window AC, the opening is required. No? Without that, you cannot install. But this high wall, we can install on any wall in the room. It's not must, it should be the exposed or opening. Next, easy installation. Again, easy installation, not compare with the window, compare with the other central types like ductable split or VRF, etc. Anyhow, skilled technician is required for this, that you'll find in disadvantages. You see, the major disadvantage in this is ventilation not as per ASHRAE or not as per standard. We are following ASHRAE in this training program. So we use this ASHRAE standard. But if you are concerned using Curie standard or any other standard, so we don't have ventilation option in this, no? Because the room air, you see, circulation of the room air only. There is no addition of what? You see, the same air circulate. There is no option for adding the fresh air. So this is the one major disadvantage in this. But to overcome this, one can open the window partially. We can open the window so that the fresh air will introduce, because this is for small rooms, no? And generally for small rooms, you'll find the windows which will open to the outside. For large space areas with the multiple spaces without windows, if you use this means that will definitely affect to the health, because you know ventilation, the importance of ventilation already we discussed at the starting session, maintaining the oxygen level. So the major disadvantage in the window or in split is what ventilation is not as per standard. Next, professional installation is required. The profession is required. Compare with the window. For window is like a plug and play. In that also the installation person is required, but for this a professional is required so that after installation he can connect the copper pipes to indoor to outdoor with the brazing, and he can check the leakages between the pipes, and he will release the refrigerant from the compressor. And if the copper pipe length increases above say 25 to 30 feet, then additional refrigerant charging is required. So all this can be done with the professional technician only. Next, noisy outdoor unit. Anyhow, if in some project you'll find the objection from the neighbor, or suppose if it is a hospital or a court nearby. So with the outdoor unit noise, they may or you may have the objection from the neighbor or as per the application. So if you talk about outdoor, yes, noisy, because the outdoor will create noise. And limited air distribution. This is also one disadvantage. Not only in high wall, even in window also you'll find poor air distribution because the supply of air from this outlet. So if you talk about definition of air conditioning, motion and distribution also one parameter. But in this, we are supplying the air from one outlet, from one side of wall. So the distribution of air also is poor in this. This can overcome by using a ceiling fan, what we are doing in actual practice in India or even in Gulf. So with the split AC, we are using a ceiling fan. So ceiling fan will help to circulate the air, and this FCU, high wall FCU, will provide the cool air. But you see, the advantage is the cost. No, the cost is less compared with the central air conditioning system. Compared with that, is very low in cost. So this is about high wall split, the first type. Next, we'll talk about the second type, which is a cassette. If you talk about cassette, high wall or freestand, as I said, the working principle is same, but the type of FCU is different. So the second type is a cassette. But before this, we have some more important points for interview point of view. As I said, you see this suction, discharge, and standing pressure. This is generally for the service side, but very common question. This is very common, may ask in interview. So at least you should know for this common type of refrigerant. You see, common type of refrigerant in market is R22. R22 is what? HCFC. In some countries, it's totally banned, but still in many countries, this R22 is used, which is belongs to HCFC with the chlorine content. But compared to HFC, it's less. Then R32, R410A, and R134A all belongs to HFC. And you know what is HFC? Okay, this environmental friendly. Na? So what is the suction, discharge, and standing pressure? You can relate this. Suction means what? Suction by which component?
Compressor.
By the compressor, right? So suction after this means the refrigerant flow from indoor to outdoor. Na? So the flow of refrigerant from indoor to outdoor means it is at low pressure and low temperature, right? So you see the pressure at the suction side. Just for example, if I take example of say R22, just for example, I'm taking this R22. You see suction side is 60 to 75 psi. Compare with the discharge is less. Discharge means nothing but after compression. Na? So you can think after compression, compressor is used to increase the pressure. So this is before compression, and this is after compression. So 60 to 75 psi for R22, and for discharge pressure is in between 200 to 250 psi after compression. Then what about this standing pressure? And you see the suction and discharge pressure is based on when the machine is running, and standing pressure when the machine is off. Okay, in between 50 to 80 psi. And this 50 to 80 psi, I'm talking about the low side, not the high side. Again, high side, it is going to be in between 150 to 180 something. And this pressure, suction, discharge, or standing pressure is first point is for R22, and the second point is based on this temperature, based on this room temperature, 21 degrees centigrade. If this room temperature increases or if this refrigerant changes, this pressure also will change. Okay, so this is just, you see, this is just for interview point of view. In actual practice, this pressure rating will vary based on the ambient temperature or the room temperature, and also based on the refrigerant temperature. For interview point of view, you can just memorize this 4 refrigerant, which is as per standard condition.
Can you explain standing pressure once again?
Standing pressure means the pressure, this pressure at low side when the machine is not running, and all this pressure at this temperature, 21 degree centigrade standard for learning point of view. So remember, this pressure rating will vary based on the based on the ambient temperature and also based on the refrigerant. So you can relate this. You see, for R32 compared with R22, this pressure is different. And you see, for R130, 134, the pressure is less compared with the R22 or R410A, this suction and discharge line. So this pressure rating also depend on the type of refrigerant. So this four refrigerant commonly used in actual practice for split window, even for chiller. In chiller, you'll find 134A or chiller VRF, and package, you'll find 134A or 410A or even R32. R22 you can find in window and split only, not in the big units. Next, apart from this, some more important points. What I explained, the suction and discharge line, why the difference in the dia. You see, the suction line typically larger in diameter. The reason is what? You see, lower density and higher volume compared to the liquid refrigerant. And the liquid line is smaller. The reason is, you see, density and less space. Density is higher and less space is required. Okay. And this diameter, the pipe size you'll get from the vendor, like 1/8 for suction side, 1/2 inch for this liquid line, etc. And this dia will change as per the capacity also. So you can find this dia from the machine catalog. Next, some more terms may ask in interview. Remember FLA. In short, we used to call FLA. It's a full load ampere. So what is full load ampere? Remember, when the compressor running at full load, the current drawn by the compressor is called FLA. Simple. Next is a LRA, lock rotor ampere. Nothing but starting current. And remember, LRA always more than FLA. So what exactly LRA? I think you can notice when you switch on the refrigerator or when you switch on the AC, for few seconds, you'll find the fluctuation because starting current is high. Why starting current is high? Because the compressor in the lock state. I'll give you a simple example. When you run a bicycle, for first pedal we require more force. After that, you are in the running. So the first pedal force you can consider as a LRA because the compressor is in the lock state. To start that, higher current is required, even more than FLA. Once you start, then if it is running at full load, it will draw FLA. Or when it is running at a normal condition, then RLA, rated load ampere, because the machine will not run full load at all the time. No? Okay, so when the machine is running at the normal condition, that it will draw the current. That current is RLA, rated load ampere. In some cases, RLA, FLA is going to be same if compressor with the same speed. But now we have the inverter and the variable speed compressors also. No? In that case, FLA and RLA is going to be different. Okay, in the same speed compressor, FLA and RLA we can consider same. And LRA is common for all the types because the starting current. And this may ask in interview, very common terms. Next, one more important point, the copper pipe length limitation with almost all the manufacturers except some high class, in between 25 to 30 in general. Again, this length will vary as per the position of the indoor and outdoor. For example, consider a building. Suppose if I place the outdoor on the top and the indoor is here. Okay, this is one case. The second case, for example, the outdoor at the bottom means on the ground and is connected to the indoor. This is first case, second case. Or in third case, for example, the outdoor is on the top and the indoor at the bottom. So this copper pipe length also vary as per the position of indoor and outdoor. So if you place on the similar level, for example, just above that floor, if you place the outdoor, we can maintain the length up to say 15 meters, means 30 up to 45 feet. And in this case, you see, we can go for 15 feet. And if the outdoor is on the top and the indoor at the bottom, you can consider nearly 20 feet. So this is the approximate, and the exact you can get from the vendor. from the manufacturer. Okay, so in general, for interface point of view, the copper pipe length for split system is going to be 25 to 30 feet. And
This is
generally, in from the vendor, when you purchase this in the box, you'll find 10 feet copper pipe. So 10 feet is a standard. When you purchase with the split AC, find three boxes, one for outdoor, one for indoor, and one for the copper tubes. In that, you'll find the standard length as 10 feet. If you want more, you need to purchase additionally, and you can do the brazing on site up to say 25 to 30 feet.
yes, sir. This is total pipe length for the loop or one side, like suction side or
No, no,
this.
combine. I'm considering this as one pair,
Okay,
indoor suction and liquid, not individually.
okay,
Suction and liquid we'll consider as one pair.
one loop.
Next we'll talk about the cassette. This is the second type, split AC, and this is a ceiling suspended type.
Sir,
What we discussed just now. Yes.
what about the location of the outdoor? If outdoor is above the indoor, height difference means, or outdoor is at the ground and indoor is at the top. So flow of refrigerant gravity effect is there.
No, it's a closed system, no? It's a closed system. Anyhow, other parameter will affect. So that's the reason the position of this unit is important. And according to that, from the vendor catalog, you'll get the exact information. Next we'll talk about this cassette. This is the second type. You see, the concept is same, but the type of FCU is different. What we discussed just now is a high wall type, but now the type of FCU is going to be cassette. You see, the cassette air conditioner, often referred as a cassette AC or simply cassette system. It's a type of AC commonly used in commercial and some residential, mainly for interior point of view. Mostly as per the interior requirement, will go with the cassette type. So how exactly? We'll get the clear idea in this video. So let me just play this. Please have a look. You see, this is the front panel of cassette. Only this portion is visible. The complete assembly is above the false ceiling, and this is a false ceiling level. And this middle portion is for suction, and these are all for supply. In most of the model, you'll find four side supply. In Daikin, you'll find the round flow. So they are offering opening in this also. So they used to call round flow. Anyhow, compared with the high wall, we have advantage of a distribution in this, even if it is a four-way site. But in
But
cassette,
I can say
they
that.
have
Okay, this continue.
in cassette we have four outlets, but in Daikin model they are offering the round 360. So they are offering the opening here also. In the video, you'll find this. You see, this is a cooling coil and blower, suction and liquid line. The blower at the center, and the cooling coil construction is round. Compare with the FCU is different. And suction from the middle grill, and it will throw on this, so the air loses the heat and the moisture and come out from this outlet, four outlets, as cool and dry air. This is a modification from Daikin. You see, this is a suction grill, and these are all discharged. Now you see, you'll find this evaporator coil. So on the evaporator coil, condensation will happen. So water is going to be collected at the bottom, and this bottom we can call as a drain tray. Find the passage for collection of water. But the important point in this, like high wall, we cannot connect the drain pipe because this is going to be installed in the ceiling. No? In high wall, it is going to be on the wall. So through wall chipping, we can take the drain pipe below the level of that unit so that we can maintain the gravity to throw the drain water out through this U-trap. But in this case, I cannot take the pipe below the level of this unit because this is the ceiling suspended. So remember, in cassette FCU, you'll find the drain pump. So as per the level of water, when the water start collecting at the drain tray, after some time when the level increases, a drain pump will suck the water and will throw in the drain pipe, and this can so that the drain pipe can connect above the level of this unit. You'll find in this part. This is a drain pump. Sorry, this is a blower. First, after blower, you'll find the drain pump. Some more modification but I can to reduce the noise. You see, above this evaporator coil and below the collection of water, this is a drain tray. You see, in this model, we can connect the drain pipe 850 mm above this unit. And this may vary from vendor to vendor, make to make, but definitely you'll find the drain pump in all the cassette, and one can connect the drain pipe above this unit level. Rest of the concept is same as split. Again, this will connect to the outdoor with the suction line, liquid line, with the insulation cabling, same as the high wall. Can you see here one detail drawing for installation? This is the installation for indoor unit, and these are all anchor fasteners, which is used to connect this full threaded rod. And this full threaded rod is connected to the indoor unit. And in between, you'll find the isolators or a rubber, which is used to reduce the vibration from the unit. So these rods are full thread rods, and these are anchor fasteners. I think you know what is anchor fastener. Commonly used even to install the fan or even for the duct or for the pipe. Anyhow, if you don't worry, at the time of duct and pipe installation, you'll find more about this anchor fastener. So mostly this is as per the interior requirement because it's look nice in interior. I'm not comparing with the window, I'm comparing with the high wall. Even compared with the high wall, the appearance is good. You see, it enhances the interior decor. So mostly in restaurants or in office or in high class villas or in showrooms, you'll find this because the appearance point of view is good. And for air distribution point of view also, you can expect the uniform distribution of air compared with the high wall. And it's a ceiling suspended, and the unit is not visible in the space except that panel. Only the panel is visible. The complete unit is concealed. But in case of high wall, the complete unit is the indoor, this FCU is visible. Next, internal drain pump, what we discussed just now. Disadvantage, cost. You see, the cost is higher compared with the high wall for the same capacity. For example, if you purchase 1.5 or 2 TR high wall, compared with the cassette, you can expect 25 to 30% higher in cost. Okay, because the manufacturing of that coil, the coil shape is different, and the unit. So mostly cost point of view, this is expensive. 25, nearly 25 to 30%. Installation can be complex. Complex means they need to align with the proper false ceiling. Sometime or many time you'll find the gap between this panel and the false ceiling. So they must take care of this proper level, and this drain pipe they must connect without any leakages. If any leakages from the drain means that will damage to the false ceiling if it is a gypsum board, or it may affect to the electrical issues in case of this leakages of water. And drop ceiling is required anyhow. With the false ceiling only we are using, so we cannot consider this a disadvantage. Without false ceiling we'll not use this. So with false ceiling, as per the interior requirement only, we can use this one. Next, condenser drain may need attention. Means proper this drain is required, because this is going to be above that unit level. We cannot take that pipe above the level which is given in the machine catalog. Suppose 850 in the video, now above that, if 850 if you take, the pump is not will not be sufficient to reject the water out. So you must maintain that level as as per the catalog from the vendor. You cannot take above that. Recommended to use below that only, at least 25 to 50 below as per the catalog. Cannot go above that. Application, what we discuss. Selection as per the interior or the client requirement, or sometime as per site condition. Sometime you'll not get the clearance on wall. The wall is occupied with some interiors or some almara, or some in office you'll find some rack. So if you not find the enough clearance on the wall, we can go with this. Or else, mostly in actual practice, most commonly this is as per the interior requirement, interior point of view, because it just look nice in interior. And we have a technical advantage also, uniform distribution of air. So this is about the second type cassette. We have one more, that is a tower or floor stand. So let me quickly complete this, because this also same type, means split only, but the type of FCU is different. So in some project, you may not get the clearance on the wall, or you may not get the clearance even in the false ceiling, because false ceiling also with some interior design with the lighting, etc. So they may not provide the clearance. In that case, we can go for this tower, you see. So remember, this also connected to the outdoor unit. This is not this is not like a air cooler. We cannot move after installation. Once you install, the copper pipe can find at the back side of the unit, which is going to run towards the outdoor and connect same like the high wall. Only the difference in the high wall, we are going to place the FCU on the wall, and this is the tower type, the floor mounted. So if you talk about advantages, for example, you see in this case, this wall completely is of glass. So there is no option for high wall. Similarly, you will not get the clearance on the wall. In that case, we can think for this. Or else, most commonly in actual practice, if the client decide to go for installation, or decide to go for AC after completing the interior works, in that case you can suggest this option. Because you see, after completing the interior, if the client, or if you suggest cassette, you need to damage the false ceiling and the wall chipping. Or else, even for high wall, you need to do the wall chipping after completing the interior paint work. Again, if you try to install the high wall, you need to go for damaging that wall chipping and all, etc. In that case, one can suggest this one. Or else in case of old project, if you want, or modification or retro type, one can suggest this one. Okay, so depend mostly as per the site condition, or as per the interior. You will not find this commonly. Most commonly you will find high wall or interior point of view cassette. In some projects, you may find this, or you can suggest as an engineer as per the situation. And you see, okay, let me complete the advantages first. You see, advantages: it can be installed after completing the interior work. It can be used in the situation where no ceiling is required, means without false ceiling, because there is not required any ceiling. Na? Suppose there is no false ceiling, so one can use this one. It can be installed after completing the installation work or interior work, as I've given just now. Now, if you talk about disadvantage, even compared with the cassette, the cost is high for this, because you see, you'll find the tall body unit, so the metal cost and all this. So the costing point of view is higher, almost 40 to 50% higher compared with the high wall. Okay, if the high wall, if you get in 50,000, say 1.5 TR, for this high wall, you need to spend 70 or 80,000 for this high wall. So because this is not commonly available also. So cost point of view, then you see it will capture the floor area. Anyhow, if you're not going with the cassette or high wall, we'll go for with this. So if you have enough space on the floor, then only we'll use. So anyhow, when you install this, you need to provide some space on the floor. So for commercial spaces, you may find the space consideration. Next selection, as I said, as per the client or interior requirement, or as per site condition, or the clearance available, or if the client is interested to install after completing the interior works, the same point. So this is about the split air conditioning system. Apart from this, you may find the other models like ceiling suspended. I'm not talking about cassette. You'll find high wall type in the ceiling suspended also. Or else if you talk about cassette, in the cassette, what I explain is a four-way. You may find two-way cassette or one-way cassette also. Different models are available in FCUs with the split system. Apart from this, you may find the floor mounted unit, a small floor mounted, not commonly used. So the list of models you may find with the different catalogs, but most commonly in actual practice, high wall, cassette, and if required, freestand in split system. So this is about split air conditioning system. In the next session, we'll talk about ductable split, the bigger version of split that comes under central air conditioning system. Under central air conditioning system, you'll find ductable split, package, VRF, and chillers. Even the district cooling system and the radiant cooling also comes under central air conditioning system. So that central will start in the next session from the ductable.